This is part 2 of building a complete 2D platformer on iPad using Xogot, Godot for iOS. In the first part, we set up the core systems and got the player moving around the level. Today, we will bring it to life. We'll add collectible coins with a collision system, so the player can basically collect them, and we'll make the spikes deadly, so the moment we touch one, the game restarts. Let's get started right away. Now let's set up our coins. For this, let's go back to 2D mode, click over here and create a new scene that I'm gonna be calling coin. I'm gonna select the location and save it inside my scenes folder. Let's hide the keyboard and it's gonna be a completely empty scene. Then I'm gonna click on create other node. In this case, let's start with an area 2D. Why? Because we won't really have gravity, for example, in the coins as we have with our player, that we use a character body for this. It's just gonna be in the same place, and the only thing we need to do is to detect collisions with this coin. So let's add it. Let's call it coin. And I'm gonna be adding this one that is called an animated sprite 2D. Then I will select once again my coin and I'm gonna go to the plus and add a collision. Once again, it's gonna be a circle. Now, the animated sprite 2D now is very similar to the sprite. It basically allows us to set textures, but in this case, it's gonna allow us to set an animation. Let's see this in action because it's actually very simple. Let's click over here where it says pick resource and let's create a new sprite frames. Then we can open up this sprite frames tab and we can click on the plus. We will click on add frames from sprite sheet. Here we wanna go to assets, then objects, gems, and I'm gonna be using this first gem. Okay, you can try the other ones if you want, but this is like a star or whatever this is. And here I'm gonna slice by element count. So in this case, vertically, okay, I only have one frame, but horizontally I have a few more, as you can see. So in this case, we have 7 frames total. So let's click over here, select all, and then import 7 frames. I'm gonna use 2 fingers, okay? And I'm also gonna move them so that I can see these sprites a little bit more. And let's select the animated sprite again, go to sprite frames over here, and I can click on play. And I will see that the coin is like flipping. Now, I will also increase the size of this animated sprite. So let's go to its transform and let's increase the scale to 2 in both axes, of course. Then once again, let's change texture filter from inherit to nearest. Now the last thing we have to make sure that here we select is this A over here. This A is the autoplay on load option, and this will make sure that this animation gets played as soon as the object appears on the screen. If not, what is gonna happen is that this won't be played and the coin will always be static. Now let's save the changes, go back to the main scene, let me here decrease the size of the file system, and inside of level 1, I'm gonna be adding a new 2D node, which I'm gonna be calling coins. Inside of it, I will click on this button to instantiate the child scene, and of course I'm gonna instantiate my coin. Once again, it is super small. Well, I don't think it is that small. You can make it bigger if you want to. But if I use the move tool, okay, that is right over here, and I move it like on top of my platforms, as you can see, it is okay, I think, the size. And if I wanna have more coins, I can hold down the click on this coin over here, click on duplicate, and once again, using the move tool, I can grab this duplicate and move it wherever I want. Take into account that you can, for example, zoom in quite a bit and use this arrow to, for example, just move it horizontally, or the other way around to just move it vertically. Sometimes it can be complicated to get the touch correct, so that's why I recommend that in that case you zoom in as much as possible, and there, as you can see, it is snapping to the y-axis. So with all these elements, I'm gonna go ahead and create a very basic level. Okay, so this is the level that I'm gonna be using right now. It's very simple, but I think that it is still more than enough for testing. What I wanna do is go to the game tab over here, and I wanna click on start in full screen. As you can see, the first thing that you will see is that the game does not display correctly. So I'm gonna click over here to stop the execution, then I'm gonna click over here and then settings, and then where it says window, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit, and where it says mode, I'm gonna change it to canvas items. Now when I start in full screen again, it actually looks okay. I know that some parts may be covered by the joystick, but you know it's not like a very big deal. So we can indeed jump on the platforms and start seeing our game come to life. We still have to add basic collision detections, at least removing the coins when we collect them, and well, restarting the game when we collide with the spikes. So to do it is relatively simple. Let's come back to 2D mode, let's go to the coin scene and select the coin root object. Then over here to open up the inspector, then we'll go to this tab and add group that I'm gonna call coin in lower cases like this. And I'm also gonna go to the main scene, select the spikes tile map layer, and I'm gonna do the same thing, add it to a group, but in this case called spikes. Now you'll see why this is important, because I will go to the player, and over here I'm gonna be adding a hitbox that allows me to detect the collisions with the coins and with the tile map layer. We already have, let's say, a hitbox here, but this is the physical hitbox with the platforms, for example. But this type of collision does not actually easily allow us to detect the collisions with coins, tile maps and all that. This is just for the physical collision. But for when we need a trigger, basically an area that is not solid, what we usually need to do is to select the player, in this case, go to the plus, and add an area to the, as we've done in our coin if you remember. I'm gonna call this guy hitbox, and inside of it, I'm gonna be adding this collision shape. In this case, I'm gonna add it as a capsule. I'm gonna go back to select mode, and I'm gonna change the size slightly. This is gonna be the shape that will specifically detect collisions with things like coins and spikes. Whereas this collision shape is the one that will detect collisions with, for example, the platforms, okay? I don't want to explain too much about this because it can be a little bit complex, but just follow along with this. And another thing I'm going to do is select this collision shape, the one from the hitbox. I'm going to come back to the inspector, and here on debug color, I'm going to change it to maybe red, and then I'm going to lower the opacity slightly, just so that we can differentiate both a little bit easier. Then to firstly detect the collision with the coin, remember that the coin is an area 2D. That is important because when we select the hitbox and go here, exactly here where we will find the signals, we will have this signal called area enter that will exactly do that. Be called when an area enters to our hitbox. So in this case, I will just click on connect. I'm gonna close the inspector and close the nodes with this other button over here so that I have the code editor in full screen. And what I need to do over here is relatively simple. I'm gonna erase this thing that says pass, and I'm gonna write my own logic. So what I wanna do over here is check if this is a condition. Area, basically the thing with which I am colliding, dot is, you have to type it exactly like this, okay? Is in group. As you can see here, it appears, so I can just click on it and Godot will auto-complete it, and between quotes I will put the group name, in this case coin. Then I'm gonna use this button to move right, and here close the parentheses. So if area is inside the group coin, which means that it is a coin, I'm gonna add a colon, enter, and here in this case what I just want to do right now is call area, which is this coin, remember, dot q underscore 3. As you can see here, it's gonna appear, so I'm gonna click on it, and there it is. If you wanna copy exactly like this, you can pause the video. It's very important that it is exactly like this. As a result, when you start your game, when you collide with the coin, it should get deleted but why is this not happening? This is because our hitbox, okay, is smaller than our physical box. So I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger, and in reality, I'm gonna select the original collision shape that we had created. I'm gonna go to the inspector. I'm gonna go back to the inspector right here, and I'm gonna change the shape. So I'm gonna click over here, and I'm just gonna modify the radius so that it is a little bit smaller. Lastly, I'll go to the move tool, and I'll move it down so that it is perfectly positioned in the feet of our player. But see how the red collision is bigger. I will even make this hitbox a little bit bigger just to make sure everything is detected correctly, and I'm also gonna make sure that everything is completely saved. Now, as you can see, when I collide with the coins, they get automatically deleted. Now for detecting the collision with the spikes is relatively simple, so make sure that you have your hitbox selected, go to the signals, but in this case, in order to detect the collision with the tile map, we can use area enter because this is not an area. It is actually called a body. So let's connect it and let's do a very similar validation. If in this case it is called body.isInGroup spikes, in that case, what I want to do is reload the game. So I'm going to call get _ 3 parentheses, then I'm going to use this arrow to move right, dot reload current scene. So now, okay, when you hit play and you collide with spikes, boom, your game should automatically restart. So you can go over here, collect the different coins, and well, whenever you collide with the spikes, the game is gonna get reset. So this is all for today's video. Indeed, the platformer is looking very awesome and will continue in the next part. You can download Xogot using the link in the description down below, or you can also use code Letta to get 1 month free of the full version. See you in the next one and bye bye.